Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Sabrina Carpenter. I'll be speaking on her personality traits as well as her characteristic traits based off of her placements in her natal chart. So please make sure you stay for the rest of the video so we can hear all about Sabrina. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've hit that notification bell as well. Please make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. Please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who really loves natal chart analysis, or anyone who really loves Sabrina. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. So Sabrina was born on May 11th, 1999, so that qualifies her to be a Taurus. By her being a Taurus, she is an earth sign and as well as a fixed sign. She's all about nature, and it makes sense because of the earth sign placement. She's also someone who may be very much deeply rooted in her thoughts, words, and actions. She's someone who may at times be stubborn, but it is for a reason of knowing what she wants. She's someone who's very loyal in any way possible, and she's very ambitious. She's very tenacious, and she's someone who is going to really have patience regarding everything that she needs in life. So she'll work as hard as she needs to, but also know that she will be productive with how she gets her things. So she's someone who has this placement, and she's someone who has a strong opinion on the way that she feels. Up next would be her moon in Pisces. With this placement, she's someone who tends to be very empathic, and she's someone who's very emotional, very deeply rooted with her emotions. She's in tune with what's going on around her. She's very compassionate, and she's understanding of people. She's someone who tends to be very much artistic, and she is a singer and a performer, so this really does benefit her. She has a whimsical personality. She's someone who's very idealistic, but she's also introspective. She may be at times indecisive, and she can have weak boundaries at times. However, she does have powerful intuition that is very beneficial for her. With this placement, she's also someone who tends to always listen to others and understand them and try her best to help them in the best way possible. Up next would be her Mercury in Taurus. With this placement, she's someone who thinks very much in a patient manner, in a practical manner, and she's very grounded in her thought. She's someone who's going to take time to plan ahead and to think before she speaks. She's someone who's very much structured in her memory, and she's also going to remember a lot of things. She's going to take into account every single detail, every single fact, and every single consequence before she speaks or before she does anything in general. She's very patient in her speaking and understanding as well. She gives practical and down-to-earth advice. She has a very reflective mind. She's someone who's very dependable. She has a calming influence, and she is someone who's not panicky. She's someone who may have a conservative or traditional approaching things. She has a rich tonal quality, and she has a lot of mental brilliance. Up next would be her Venus in Cancer. With this placement, she's someone who loves to be caring towards her partner. She's someone who's sensitive towards them, nurturing and intuitive. She's very kind, and she's very deeply connected with her family and her loved ones. She loves to nurture her loved ones' needs, and she is going to want a big, happy family. She loves to blend friends, family, and relationships, and she is someone who wants to always feel included within her family. She's going to love her family through thick and thin, and she's someone who wants to be committed. She's also someone who's very predictable, and she wants that as well. She may be sensitive and craves security, comfort, but she's someone who's very big-hearted and creative. She's very much intuitive, and she's patient, loving, and dependable. She loves sentimental gestures, and she is going to always have her partner's needs met. Up next would be her Mars in Libra. With this placement, she has a very calming personality that makes people active in relationships and less likely to show her upset side in public. She's always going to make sure that there's a lot of balance regarding the decisions that she makes, and that's something that really pushes her. That gives her a lot of things in order for her to really push throughout life is by her having balance. She wants to be fair in every way possible. She's someone who's great at negotiating because she's very great at charming people. She's also someone who's all about diplomacy, and she loves a sense of beauty that really pushes her. She's all about harmony, eloquence, but sometimes she can be indecisive and she can be sacrificial. Instability and vulnerability is something that she will need to work on with this placement. Up next would be her Jupiter in Aries, and with this placement, she's someone who can be very bold and enthusiastic when it comes to her risk taking. She's all about growth and exploration. She's very successful and quick to find success because she's going to make sure she works as hard as she can in order to complete the success or get the success that she wants. She's someone who is always going to like travel, and that's something that I see a lot in a lot of celebrities, specifically singers charts, is Jupiter and Aries, because they really love to travel and meeting new challenges head on, and traveling in this industry is extremely important, and this helps her engage new opportunities. She's luckiest when she is her own boss, and she is the luckiest in her personal life when she's relying on her own opinions and abilities. Up next would be her lovely Saturn in Taurus. With this placement, she is very much grounded, practical, realistic, and perspective, and this also makes her third placement in Taurus, so she has a Taurus stellium. So that means a lot of who she is very much Saturn or Taurus vibes, because she is going to make sure that all the Taurus vibes is something that she's going to give off. She's someone who's going to be very reliable with this placement, and she's very dependable and very responsible. She's also someone who is very diligent and modest. She can at times be very much at ease. Freedom, she's someone who has a firm, ordered, and secure foundation in her life to feel comfortable. She's someone who may not be able to adapt easily to new interests or things that are new, but she's someone who's very much going to surround herself with supportive people. Up next would be her Uranus in Aquarius, and this is a very great placement to have. And with this placement, or anyone with her generation, they tend to like to take up social causes and find a way of solving complex issues such as poverty and or injustice. They're all about being reformers at heart, and they want to make a positive change that will benefit society as a whole. And that's something that I see very common with this placement, is that they want to make sure that previous generations, their generations, and the generations after them have a very good life. They are willing to devote their time and energy to see what they can come about, especially if a proper support group is there, combined with a purpose to be found. One thing to be careful of is that their devotion to group goals does not produce too much friction or neglect in their personal goals or one-on-one relationships. Up next would be her lovely Neptune in Aquarius. With this placement, she's all about being able to find inspiration wherever she goes. She is able to use this inspiration to help society, and that's one of the things that people with this generation always think of: how can they help society in a better way to improve it in the best way. With this placement, they're all about valuing the amount of things that they can do throughout their generation. They love to idealize and even venerate the ability to remain detached, as well as the ability to objectively analyze any given situation. They are very much going to have a huge effort in curing the ills that society has as a whole, but they have to be careful to be able to protect individual rights in the midst of these changes. So just letting everyone have the freedom needed or wanted. Up next would be her Pluto in Sagittarius. She's able to get this placement because she was born between 1995 and 2008. So this makes her Generation Z. She's all about having the search to add to her wealth of knowledge and for her own enjoyment. And that's something that's very common with Generation Z. They want to learn more just for their knowledge. They just want to learn more to benefit and get a better understanding as to what they see or need. They're all about freedom, experimenting, exploring, and taking risk. They're all about optimism and having the thrill of living and possibilities. They are the types of people who love to have fun, and they love to make sure that everyone else around them is having fun as well. They're also the types of people who are going to make sure that they are both about unity, being separate, and also having different aspects in their life that make them different. Up next would be her lovely North Node in Leo. This is a very common fame placement, but with this placement, she will need to uncover her hidden gifts and talents in order for her to get these. So individuality, willing to take center stage, following one's heart's desires, straightening one's willpower, enthusiasm, self-confidence, taking risk, relating to the childlike quality in others, enjoying life and having fun, looking at life as it is a game, being brave, connecting to her heart and not ignoring to choose and depend solely on her mind, identify with the child within her, and explore with creativity, not being afraid of love and inspiring to lead others through her acts of courage is something that she will need to do. Up next would be her lovely Chiron in Sagittarius. With this placement, she is someone who may have the wound of having independence and freedom through any type of belief. So she may have been through something that maybe she wants to find the meaning of life or finding truth in her life, but she may find it and then it may not be enough. But she needs to have that type of freedom to know that learning about different things is something that can really open up her mind. Maybe at a young age, she may have been a part of something and she believed in it for so long and she figured out that it wasn't true. And now it's hard for her to really believe in anything in regards to life or this world. So knowing that truths come in little different ways and you may find truth in different aspects of life is something that is very healing and very important. Up next would be her ascendant / rising in Pisces. With this placement, she's all about being faithful. She is someone who's very private, but she's also someone who may be zoned out a bit. She's someone who's very creative, very charitable, very spiritual, and very ambiguous. With this placement, she's also someone who's all about helping others. They do have very gorgeous eyes, and that's something that is a huge trait of them. And that's something that people do recognize. They're very intuitive and they're able to feel what other people are feeling and understand what other people are feeling. Also with this placement, she is someone who is going to always be sensitive to other people, and she's always going to have a huge imagination. She's someone who's very much empathetic and have a bit of a fantasy world in herself. Last but not least is her midheaven in Sagittarius. With this placement, she's someone who's very expressive within her career. She's someone who's very indistinct. And she's someone who's very passionate, very persuasive, very witty. And that's something that you will see regarding her career. She's someone who is all about taking risk. She is being an expert is something that she's great at. She's someone who can start from scratch, and that's something that is very much a great thing for her. Sometimes being indecisive in a career can be very difficult. Anticipating challenges can be difficult, and as well as staying in place is something that may be difficult for her with this midheaven placement. However, she's someone who has the talent of going into different careers with that mutable sign placement, and she's also someone who can have a long-lasting career. That's all I had for you all today regarding Sabrina's natal chart. Please let me know down below, lovelies, did you learn more about her? Did you get a better understanding as to who she is as a person? Please also let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. And I love the suggestions and I really appreciate them. Please make sure you're subscribed and you hit that notification bell. You've also hit that like button and that share button. Last but not least, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media accounts. And if you would like to support through PayPal, the link is down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.